Hello, welcome to the chat Scrum chat room, our lunch and learn. It's time to have some lunch together. And what I want to talk about today is the Scrum Master Market is growing and changing. What new do you need to learn? So that's our topic for today. We're going to be having a general discussion about that and more of an information session. I know this is not my regular time I come on board, and the good news also is that on Saturday I'll also be live. We can have a longer time, but then it's going to be a very brief conversation for about 30 minutes. And what we want to focus on today is the Scrum Master market is changing. It's not changing. It's growing. So, what new do you need to learn in order to stay on board? All right. So, I want to also hear your input on that. I know a lot of you have been experiencing that, and if you've also noticed, if you've been vigilant, most of the positions that are coming out now are coming as manager role, or alternatively, they're requesting that you have at least some background on project management. Now, the first question you want to ask yourself when you see certain changes coming up in the market is that what has changed or why are things shifting? What has changed? Why are things shifting? If you talk about what has changed and why have things shifting, then it's going to help you to understand that, right, the reason things are shifting is because there is something going on within the community which we probably need to learn from, right? So, what new learning are you having in place? Hello, Victoria. Hello, Theodore. Hello, Julius. And hello to everyone joining and welcome to our conversation. So, we just want to take a brief look at what the Scrum Master Market is giving us now and also look at what new learning are you creating in the entire process. Okay, so let's get started. Now, one of the reasons which I think you should already be aware of is the fact that the shifting that is happening now is because of the feedback that is coming from you in the market taking the interviews. So, when something is growing, just like a baby is growing, right? When a baby is growing, it starts changing. Now, there has been a whole lot of influx of people from different career into the Scrum field lately. And all of these people are in a space competing to get in the Scrum field. Now, if you understand what Scrum is all about, is agile product delivery, which is a shift from product management. So, for you to become an effective Scrum Master, you need to understand the difference between project management and Scrum. And which is why one of the first lessons which is delivered for you to become a Scrum Master is helping you to differentiate between a waterfall or a traditional environment and agile. So they're expecting that before you get into Scrum, you know the difference of agile product delivery and project management. Now, let's talk a bit about the difference. So, if you did not know the difference, let's go through it now. Hello to everyone that's joining. Hey, Mervis, I see you right there. Alan, I see you right there. Everyone joining. Hello. And do well to just click that share button, right? So that we can have a lot of us coming here. This is a very important piece of information which you need to know if you are in the Scrum market, which is why I'm taking out the time to kind of push it out at this hot afternoon. It's definitely very hot in Dallas, Texas. Okay, so I was saying, well, let's differentiate between what product agile product delivery is all about and what project management is all about. Now, when we're talking about the traditional way, which is waterfall, which many people often say, "Oh, you know what? I help a company to transform from waterfall to agile," and I always say that it's a very big sentence because no one person, right, can do that. Now, transformation is a whole process. I spoke with someone from the Humana team a couple of weeks back, and they told me, "Look, it's taken me about 18 months just to let the leader understand the difference between agile and waterfall." and to understand that when we're talking about project delivery, it's not about one department, it's a whole combination of everyone engaged. Now, when we talk about project delivery and product delivery, the key goal, or waterfall and agile, the key goal is that waterfall focus on project, right? Agile focus on product. Now, when you talk about a project, you're talking about the cost and the time that needs you to deliver that product. When you talk about the project, when you talk about product, we talk about the value. Now, if you say, hey, I have a product to sell, now, what someone is going to be interested in is to understand what is this product all about? What does it, if you say, hey, I have a product, I have a phone to sell, the first thing they're going to ask you, okay, what is so special about the phone? Is it the camera quality? When you're selling a product, you focus on value, what it's going to bring to the customer. But if you say, hey, I have a project to give you, the person will start thinking about the time of the project, what kind of project is it, what time is it require, and the cost, right? So Agile came in to shift from time and costing to focus on the value. Now, the reason why Agile doesn't talk so much about time and costing is because time and costing is built in the value, right? That's why uh, if we use, let's say, an Android phone without a name and a Samsung phone, now you realize that you'll be willing to pay up to $1,000 for a Samsung S21. Why? Because not because it's going to do something different compared to any other Android phone. It's because of the value that is built in there. And why does Samsung or iPhone take time to deliver this quality? They are doing that because they are focusing on the value to the customer. They study the customer, they build the experience to focus on the customer. So agile project delivery or agile product delivery focus is customer centric. And now it makes life easy. Everyone likes a flexible life. Right. So those are the difference. Now, when we have Scrum Masters that are getting into the market now, they don't understand this difference between what and they're not able to effectively help the team. So because of that, because the experiences the different company are going through, now they say, okay, let's put this as project management. But when you look at most of the descriptions are going to tell them more on Scrum. And many people say, oh, I don't know project management, so I can do project management, right? So the coin, most of that is like, we're looking for project manager. But then we look at more detailing more description is going to be Scrum. Now, the reason also, which a lot of companies are trying to do that, now, sometimes when they say Scrum, a lot of people limit themselves to like, as a Scrum Master, my goal is to facilitate even and remove impediment. So when you get in and you have your daily stand up and you have that, you know what, I'm done. There's nothing else I need to do. So different companies trying to shift us from that mentality and to enable us understand that our goal and our value as Scrum Master is not all in facilitating and removing impediment, it's in contributing to the overall business value of the product. So, if you happen to find yourself in an environment as a Scrum Master or in a place of interview where they're asking you your role as a Scrum Master, the first thing you want to do is to understand the business strategy or the product vision, what the company want to achieve. So when you understand exactly what the company want to achieve in terms of value, in terms of where they are in the process of their product delivery, you can effectively have a conversation with the company. If not, you're going to be at the phase of question and answer, right? Be the point where they ask you a question, you respond to it. They ask you a question, you respond to it. You don't want to be at that point. You want to first of all understand agile product delivery. And how can you understand what agile product delivery is all about? Is to understand the different layers. I'm not quite sure if I can share my screen. Let me see if there's a way I can share that. No, probably I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that in the next one. I'll try to put on the file. I wanted to show you the different layers of agile project delivery, where it starts from the corporation vision. The corporation vision. Now we move down to the business strategy that corporate want to deliver, and then we move down to the product vision, and then we move down to start looking at the value, the roadmap. We move down to start looking at the release plan and all of that, and then we move down to start looking at how to facilitate this event. Now you realize that if you get into a company, or if you get into a team and you don't understand that for you to effectively facilitate this event, you need to understand the big picture. You are going to be completely lost and dumbfounded, right? You agree with me that that's the case. So the shifting in the market is because we're not investing the right energy to understand what we need to do. What is your role for someone that is in the market, for someone that is already in the market? We are constantly seeing a lot of competition coming in. So, what you should be doing is position yourself where you can effectively learn and grow. So if you can position yourself to effectively learn and grow as a Scrum Master, then you're going to find out that you can easily, at any point T, fit into any role. Now, I know a lot of you are concerned, like, oh, I'm not having interviews, I'm not having these. But whenever you have this opportunity, can you prove beyond doubt that you're the right person? That is the question. Because now the reason why sometimes you don't get to interview is not because of you, it's not because of your resume, it's because these people are having 500 applicants. So they cannot go through. So sometimes you're just unlucky that they don't get to your application, even to look at it. So apart, despite the fact that you're putting in 70, 80, because of the load that is coming in, no one has been chance to even look at your resume. So you want to continually prepare yourself to make sure that you are being at a point where you can strike and you can get it. All right. So that is what we want to be doing as Scrum Masters. And that is why it is very important for you to embed yourself, be in a community where they're pushing you, not somewhere that you can run and ask a question and come back. No, where you can practice, you can be able to see it, you can be able to do it. Right? For people who are in my community, they know exactly what I'm talking about. For people that want to be part of that, and also for those who are in the Scrum fee, you want to push yourself to get a Safe Scrum Master certification. Many people don't kind of look at this as important, but the reason why I emphasize this is important because the Safe Scrum Master go really much deeper. Now, I've had a lot of students in my class who are PSM and CSM certified, and when we go more deeper to start talking about how to get into or how to um, start talking about the different layers of team formation, and also go deep to start talking about how to participate in program increment PI planning, and go deep to start talking about how do you support the ad now we're missing. Now, for that to happen, we need to also push ourselves. The next level, which I'm also going to push all those who are in the job market to do, this is all you're good, right? Because I'm studying the market, I'm understanding, I'm trying to put together what can help you to stay competitive, is to start studying more on agile product management agile product management. What is the management process when those managers are making those decisions up there? What exactly are they looking for? What exactly is the conversation going on? Understand about how they are able to prioritize the backlog, understand all of that. If you go a bit more deeper, you realize that your conversation becomes very rich. And when sometimes when you get on a conversation, they will be willing to get in the deal with you. Now, how can you join my community? We have a safe training coming up this Monday. I should be able to share the link for you on how to join that. Probably, I don't. I should be able to share a link on you on how you can be able to join that. I'll share it at the end of this video. I probably don't have that handy. I'll share that on the chat so that you can have access to that as well. Simply, you can also just send me a text message and say, hey, I need more information on this, right? If you look at the screen, you can always send a text message, not call, a text message only, or you send me an email. I should be able to send you more of that information. All right, so now I got about 10 to 15 minutes to answer any question from you in relation to what we just discussed. So if you have any Scrum question, I'm going to reserve that for Saturday as well. So Saturday, I'm going to come in to answer more detailed question. I just, for those who can see that, I think that gonna go for, all right. Yeah, just send me a text with the information on the screen. I should be able to respond to that and give you more information on exactly what you want, or send me an email. For further detailed conversation, Saturday we are going to be meeting at 1 p.m. Central Time. That's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'm going to be live, and I will get more longer conversation. I can answer all your questions. You can bring it there. No, I don't offer project management courses, but then we have conversation where we can be able to go deeper into that. Now, just kind of make a clarification. You don't need a project management certification um, in order to understand how to manage a project. If they're requiring PMP, PMP is an added value. PMP is a whole different study on its own, because PMP also come in as a whole structure, a whole framework as what you have Scrum, where it discuss all of the different detail on all the stages from planning to execution to monitoring and evaluation to procurement. If you read the PMP guide, you realize that the PMP guide is a whole big book you have to take time and go through, right? So that is the point. Okay, perfect. So how can you get experience if you are newly certified? Bonnie, what you want to do is join a community of practice, where for those who are in my community of practice, what we do is that we give you project and you run through all of this project, and you run different sprint. By the time you run two sprint, trust me, you understand exactly what you're talking about. You're not just talking about theory. So what you want to do is to join a community that's practicing, not a community that's doing question and answers. We've noticed that question and answer doesn't help you until you start doing it. You will not be able to appreciate the value of what you're getting. So that's how you can do. Invest some time. Don't be in a rush to get into. I know people. If you're watching me, right, you kind of figure out that you directly jump into most of those training or into most of uh, interviews without having the practical knowledge. You can tell how sometimes you just find yourself as a fool because a question is thrown at you and you're trying to get information left, right. But if you actually be in a place where you're practicing, you realize that that comes very handily. So it's very important for you to create that time and practice, especially if you're on the point of giving up. Forget about interviews. Now we have November, December. Invest that time in practicing. January is coming. The market is going to be up again. Prepare yourself to get in there strong, right? So it's very important. Where's the best place to apply for jobs other than Indeed? Okay, I Indeed is good, but so much don't recommend Indeed. I recommend LinkedIn and Dice. So Dice is the place to go for most IT job. And for those who are in Dice, one of the top secret in Dice is that make sure that every maybe 2 days you kind of just go delete your resume, update a new one. When it's weekend, you can even kind of just hibernate your profile so that on Sunday in the evening when the new week is kicking in, go in there, just re-upload your resume again. It kicks you back in at fresh. Now LinkedIn is the place to go because in here we have a lot of recruiters that are monitoring, especially recruiters that are directly recruiting for company. They like to come and follow you on LinkedIn, get to know about you, then they can invite you for an interview. So we've also had a lot of people get interview just by being active on LinkedIn. Being active on LinkedIn is about share your experience, comment on other people' profile. It's gonna help you a lot to stand out. Okay, so what are the expectation in the role as a Scrum Master and the PM? Now, yeah, in a role as a Scrum Master and the PM, I think the difference is just that they're gonna expect you to do some activities that are not purely Scrum, right? You probably might do some documentation, you might do some chatting, you might be able to. They might ask you to maybe help with timesheet management for your team, enter some numbers, or as Scrum and PM, they will not really expect you to manage a whole budget line as a pure project manager. The reason they do that is because they just want you to be aware that you're not only going to be doing Scrum, you also participate in other decision making and also support maybe administration whenever it's needed. So it's not so much, trust me. If I'm certified as Scrum Master but not getting a job, will taking save as an additional. Now, taking save doesn't really get you into the job, right? Say Scrum Master gives you an addition because there are many companies that are looking for save. What you should do is practice. When you're practicing, you immediately understand why you're not getting a job. Right. So sometimes we might feel, oh, it's my resume. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I don't know why. But when you start practicing, you will understand what you need to do on your resume. You'll be able to talk with all the people who are having the interviews, get what they're doing, compare your resume with your own, also get support from the community where you are. So if you're not yet in a community, join a community. If you're in a community and that community is not supporting you to get what you want to get, come and look for a different community. I would say there is no investment that you will make that is enough for what you want to get. Right. One thing we want to start appreciating is the fact that um Agile or Scrum is offering us some gold on the plate for us to learn intensively for less than 3 months and then get to a position where we are having an opportunity to earn a 6-figure job. If you pay let's say a tuition and go how many years and go 3 years for 4 years for a bachelor program, you will not end up with that. So a lot of us are not appreciating it and we're not treating it as something close to our heart. And because of that, we're not getting the result. So very important, you should invest in getting what you need to get at all possible costs. Want it like never before. I had one of my student who had a job came in and say, "Hey, look, one of the stuff that made me got a job is that it's either I win or I win. There was no quitting, and that is a mindset that help you to win. That's the mindset that help you to win." But if you want to get hand-on experience, you can send me a message using my number. I should be able to give you information on how you can join my community as well. There are many other coaches out there that can also help you to do that. So you can do your research, but I can talk about my community to help you do that. Right. All right. Thank you, everybody. I think my time is up and I need to go for my lunch. I see you on Saturday. So come on board on Saturday with all your questions, and I should be willing to answer all your questions. Do I teach release train engineer? Okay. Yes, I can do that, but for now I'm not doing that. Right. I'm unable to teach them, but then for now I'm not doing that because I'm also working on some server stuff. Maybe I'm gonna open that up coming up next year. But one of the stuff which is really, really, really important for me is the fact that I create also time to do my own personal development. Now, just check on the screen. If you look at my screen as rolling up, you see my number there. You can get it there. You can click on the replay of the video and just look at the screen. You're going to see my number or my email there, and then you can send me a message. Okay. Happy being here always. And then thank you to all my fellow and beautiful community members. It's always great learning from you. And one of the reasons I love coming up is because I always get challenging questions that made me to go and start reading and start getting new books, right? So you should be doing the same thing.